Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Gabe Develasco's radio talk show. Thank you so much. If you saw the last video that I made, it really does mean a lot to me. To all my fans, all my viewers out there, I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen to me ramble on about my problems and whatnot. And I appreciate everything that you guys do. I want to give a great big shout out to Gregory Gannon, who made me a personal banner for my radio talk show. Thank you very much, dude. I love you, man. And I will be shooting more content. And today it is a personal topic for me. And what better way to have this personal topic than to have some guests on here. Right now, I have in the building my good friend George, my good friend Thornton, and also my good friend Paul. Say hello, guys.
Yep, yo.
Yeah.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello.
All right, cool. So, the topic is happiness. Now, you may
Pretty
think,
deep right there.
yeah, pretty
Good topic. Good topic.
Yeah, good topic, but check this out. Happiness and people who try to take your happiness away.
A lot of fields to work with in that aspect.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why I chose this topic is because a lot of people have brought me down in life. A lot of people have brought down my friends that are here with me today. And my mom, who is another big inspiration in my life, once told me that you should not let anybody take your happiness away. The only person that has control over your happiness is you. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And she told me that when I was about 13, maybe even younger. But anyway, before I continue with this probably won't be like an extremely long talk. And if it is, I'm sorry, but I do like talking. I do like going into detail with stuff about my life and whatnot, and I just hope you guys could understand, bear with it, and obviously you guys do, because you guys have listened to 34 minutes of me talking in my last video. But anyway, this is Gabriel Develasco's radio talk show, and now we may begin. So guys, since this is your first times on this talk show, Tell me about yourself, George. Like, tell everyone about yourself.
Pertaining to the topic of happiness with me, I know personally I am and probably am currently battling with my depression. It's always been a very, very big part of my life. It doesn't matter whether I'm with friends, doesn't matter whether I'm enjoying my time alone. In some way or another, depression kind of like seeps in, and it's a daily struggle, and it's hard, but staying positive is always something that I've really believed in, even to this day. And I didn't have the best upbringing, as well as my brother Thor that's sitting over here as well. You can attest to that. And because of that, I got into a lot of drugs. I got into partying a lot. I got into pretty much distracting myself from what I wanted to do, and what I was distracted by was what people said. I've always been insecure. Always cared about what people thought of me. And I actually really liked the video yesterday because it made me think about the things that I almost kind of forgot about myself that are like really true.
The video of what I did?
Yeah, the insecurities.
Right.
And stuff, and caring about what people thought.
Oh yeah, man. There's a lot that went on in that video. A lot of people like that video, and like it's so amazing to have not exactly like a fan base, but like
and more of a family, that really like connects.
I mean, I guess so. Like people who I used to go to school with, see this video and they're just like, wow, I didn't expect for you to to do this. I'm just like, what do you mean, But
at this point, 44 people have seen it already.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's made an impact on a good amount of people.
Yeah, at least the ones that are closest to you.
Yeah.
They're probably the first ones to watch.
right.
And to other people, 44 views doesn't seem like a lot, but it's like such a great start. It's such an opening. It's like we can literally like do this, and if we can help someone in some way, or even you guys just hearing us right now, you're definitely helping me out for sure. And I know you're helping everyone else out here.
All right. And I thank you guys for being here today because
Anytime.
Because you guys are my closest friends, and I feel like you guys have had experiences just like mine where you have been down in the dumps and people have taken your happiness away. And I'm sorry I didn't introduce Thor a lot.
It's okay.
Sorry for cutting you off too, but
It's okay, man. It's okay.
But like, tell everyone how you're doing and whatnot.
I'm doing great. My name's Thor. I've known these people for probably my entire life, and
except Paul, you know them for like 15 minutes.
What's time, dude? And still, I've seen their ups and downs, and I pretty much know a good deal about what it means to be happy and just what it takes to get there. Because it is a struggle. It is a road, and like a lot of people don't stop to think about whether or not they fully understand it, because that itself is something different, because happiness is a huge part of your life, and it can really, really change in the blink of an eye, especially someone dealing with hard feelings and depression and things like that, because I've been there, I've done that, and it's an everyday struggle. It really is. And once you have a clear view of what it is you're searching for and what it is you're trying to reach, that's only when you can start making the correct steps towards it. And that's kind of the way I've been living my life recently, and just really thinking about just what makes me happy, what is happy to me, because everyone has their own definition. Same with love, same with almost everything, because everyone's different. A lot of emotions are subjective, and we only can relate to people based off what they tell us. But even language is limited. So there's a lot of things that go unspoken, and it's those unspoken things that I feel are really important. And and
it's not like we're not like we honestly like wish we can like give everything that we actually really think about and what we feel and stuff, and it's kind of a shame that we can't really like express those like feelings and all those emotions into words
exactly
as much as we want to, though, because at the end of the day, like I know like everyone that I'm with, even though I don't like necessarily talk to them on like such a heart-to-heart level, in some way like I can see, just look into their eyes or just feel their vibe and like kind of like feel their energy, and I can actually truly kind of understand them in some way.
Exactly.
Whether it's good or bad, but still, it's a connection.
There's things like this, like just different outlets and ways to express yourself that I feel are what represent those unspoken things. It's because, like we're doing this talk show, we're talking about stuff, but in the bigger picture of things, you think back at not only what we said, but why we're here. You think about why we're together in the first place, why we're even doing this, like those are the things that aren't spoken, and not everyone clarifies that. Same thing with artwork, same thing with anything you spend your time doing to try to express yourself to others, It's like you're trying your best because you only are given so much. And it's just a big search, like a scavenger hunt,
Right.
Yeah.
Big old scavenger hunt.
What about you, Paul? Introduce yourself to the radio show. Introduce yourself, Mr. Paul Yespek, who thankfully, and he's generous enough to let us use his house for our little radio talk show for right now. Thank you so much.
Not to have your mom waking up in the middle of the
we don't want to wake your mom up. I mean,
don't want to wake mom.
She works a lot. Let her have her time to rest.
Yeah.
My name is Paul. I'm generally a happy guy. Can't complain. I always try to find the most positive outlook on life. Every time I go into work, I always try to put on a smile, even when I'm having the toughest of days. Knowing that that I can put out a smile will end up making someone else smile. So a customer will come in, they're all down and gloomy. They see me smile, they go, "Ah, man, that guy's smiling. I should smile too." Like that little effect that happens.
It changes people's lives.
Yeah, it does.
The littlest effort, it really does.
And
just reminded me of something, Paul. But I'm sorry, Gabe, you go.
well, I mean, like putting a smile on. Yeah, putting a smile on and making people see that and projecting that positivity in people is what people honestly really need, in my opinion, because getting down in the dumps and having your happiness being taken away one way or another. That's the topic here today.
It's not going to get you anywhere.
Exactly. If you're all down in the dumps and, you know, pessimistic, you need to be optimistic in the world, because you are not going to get anywhere in life if you're always pessimistic. You know, you have to
make that change.
Exactly. You have to make the change, be the change that you want to
see in the world. Yeah.
Also,
yeah, there was something that was...
When I applied at the hospital, they went through the whole thing and the like patients and stuff, but they taught me one thing. Though you are you, there are people with lives that are much more worse than you.
Of course.
Yeah. Right, fragile.
So, yeah, you have to make that effort every day to try and help them make a better day.
Yeah, and even then, like, that kind of knowledge, it's humbling.
Yeah,
like, humility is such a strong thing to have. With all these, like, strong egos in the world, you know, being humble gives you a chance for growth. And when you can grow and be thankful for the things that you have instead of the things that you don't have, like, have regrets and stuff like that, like, it's such a beautiful thing, because you get to see life and experience life and think about different things on such a new level, and that's the kind of stuff that's going to help you grow.
Yeah.
You know, and be happy.
He who praises himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be praised. And that goes, and that's true in every situation.
Yeah, you get a lot
really
further.
Yes.
Is that a little bit of Confucius right there? Is that Confucius?
I think it was in this thing called the Bible one day. It might have been. I mean, who knows?
Oh my!
Regardless, the words are there somewhere.
There are definitely, like, a lot of things in my journey that have really, really changed me 100%. Whether it's philosophy, whether it's a poem that I read, whether it's a book that I read, or even a TV show.
Right.
Like, no matter what, if you allow things and open your mind to so many, like, people and to so many, like, different outlets and things that you do, no matter what it is, you're allowing yourself to be taught. And when you allow yourself to be taught, you know, everyone is your guru. You know, everyone is your teacher.
That's true.
You stay open-minded, and you see the truth, and you grow and you make your decisions. Because I think some of the worst things, like, people can do is ignore and hide what is the actual truth. Because ignoring things and pushing them to the side and putting them under the carpet is only gonna hide the problem, but the problem's still there.
Right.
You know, when you can work those problems out piece by piece, and really, like, you know, really grow from that, and understand, you know, you have a deeper understanding of who you are in turn,
right,
because of who you want to be. And then you internally, you just feel good and positive and happy with yourself without even trying sometimes.
Right.
That's just who you are, and you respect that, you know, and you love yourself about it. And, like, knowing all these things in the world, you know, knowing, like in a sense, it kind of gives you a sense of purpose, you know.
Yeah. I'm very grateful for the people that are in my life currently right now, because when I am down in the dumps, I mean, yes, I have my family, but for me, and this is going personal for me, I really don't have that much of a personal family. You know, ever since my grandfather passed away, like around 11 years ago, the family, it's not what it used to be. Everybody is going on cruises. Everybody is doing their own thing. And even though that's normal, it's not exactly normal for our family, because we used to be all the time together. And it really goes to show, because after my grandfather passed away, everybody became bitter. A lot of people became just like, I don't know exactly the word that I'm trying to say. Maybe it's people started talking about the other family members wrong, and it really affected me, because I'm very family oriented, and I always thought that family is the only thing that you have.
They acted very distant.
Exactly. But see, that is also true. I have never left that family is the only thing that you have, because anybody who has picked you up in life, gave you a purpose for your life, and made you who you are, you would consider them as family. For example, my friend George, my friend Thornton, and even my friend Paul, they have been the most kindest of people, and many people who are listening right now that I forgot to mention. I'm sorry about that, but you guys who are supporting me now, you guys are my family as well. But right now, these three are considered my family, because I have been down in the dumps before. I have been without a home per se. I have been hungry physically, mentally, emotionally, and all of these people have shown me their gratitude, their generosity, and I'm ultimately grateful for that.
It's love, man. I mean, I would want you to do the same for me.
Exactly, and I do this for these guys, and I'm grateful for them because they showed me, first. And how this pertains to happiness and people taking it away from you. For example, my brother, he's not really right in the head, and you guys may think like, oh, because he's not right in the head, you shouldn't talk to him like that. No, that's bullshit. Because
oh, I mean, you have to think about it. I mean, like, your brother, he's living his own life. He has a different perspective. He's just not as open to things as you are, and I don't think you should judge him on a certain level. You need to be. You have to be biased, because it's
unbiased.
Biased. Yeah, unbiased.
Yeah. I mean, but for him, since I've known him for so long, and I don't really understand what he's going through up until now, it's very hard to get him at his level, because he has treated me so poorly, and he has taken out the happiness that was with me. Now, this is not apparent right now because I've grown up. I've, said, fuck him. I have who I believe is my family, and I have them right here, and it makes me happy. And that is what you have to realize. You have to honestly sit down, and I wish somebody would have told me this as well. Besides my mom and whatnot, and maybe like Facebook today, but whatever. But you have to ultimately sit down and think about your decisions. Think about it like this. If someone is talking down to you and belittling you and making you upset, ultimately taking your happiness away, or better yet, a significant other. That's the best of all. If your significant other breaks up with you, takes your happiness away, treats you like shit, you have to calm your mind and take a deep breath and think about the bigger picture here.
Though it may be tough.
Yes. Though it may be tough,
but
you have to go through it. Everybody has to go through it one way or another. And as for me, as you all know, I've just recently been through a breakup, and it's messed me up to the point where it's very hard to get back, but I'm slowly getting back, and everybody's seeing that, and I'm glad. And this topic, happiness, I read today, the same thing as what my mom told me, like, don't let anybody take your happiness away, only you can keep your happiness. And that really,
of course,
yeah, that really drove me to the point where, I have to make this topic, I have to make this episode. So continuing on for what you should do if you are in a position that you're struggling to gain your happiness, you have to slow your roll, take a deep breath, close your eyes even, light an incense, drink some tea, meditate in a dark room, do whatever, and clear your mind. Once your mind is clear, then ask yourself, what is it that I truly want? Once you ask yourself what you truly want, then there's endless possibilities of what you can do. And with that, you continue to ask yourself, is this relationship worth it? Is going day by day with the same person who has treated me like shit, and vice versa as well, and constantly fighting, is it worth it for my happiness, for my mental my mental stability, my mental health. That's the same thing. Sorry about that, but whatever. I don't know.
Could I maybe intervene?
Go
what
ahead.
you're saying at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember when Gabriel was actually he was going through a lot of this stuff, and he would come to me and he was just very confused and distraught. A lot of the time when I hung out with him, and it kind of made me sad because I love Gabe. You know, he's been a brother to me for a really long time. I've been a brother to him for a really long time. We met since I think 6th grade, right?
Yeah, sixth grade.
So, and then we're 21. He's 22. I'm 21. It's been a while. And I miss Gabe. You know, he wasn't the same person. Every time I hung out with him, he was really depressed. He was really lost, and he just wasn't himself all around. It kind of made me sad.
Or you at least saw like tidbits of it.
Yeah. And those were. It was almost like, in a way, you were kind of like.
I was going downhill.
Yeah.
I was really going downhill.
In a way.
Yeah, and it was because of the relationship that I had recently. And this is not to bash on the girl because, you know...
No, not at all. Like,
yeah.
you know, some people, they're in different places in their life. They're at different times and in different growths. You know, it doesn't mean that they're always like that. It just means that they're at a certain point of their life, and you're at a certain point in your life where you want something to happen, but you're not emotionally, mentally, or just, you know, stably there for that.
Right.
You know, that goes what I was saying to you. Like, a lot of those times, and those nights that I was talking to you, that when you have, you know, a hole in a hole just makes an even bigger hole. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Two wrongs don't make a right. You know.
Yeah. And I thank you guys for telling me that, and it really changed me as a person, and it made me grow. And it honestly makes me feel good to be doing this because I know there's somebody out there who maybe a year down the road of me doing this is going to look at this video and they're going to be like, you know, there's somebody out there who
just
has,
like me,
just like me, who has gone through this and has a solution, you know, and to go along with that solution, you just have to think about you, because happiness is a state of mind.
Yeah.
And you want to get to that state of mind, and where
no matter how hard.
Exactly.
I mean, like, if you think about it, at the end of the day, like, who is really in that bed with you? You know, who do you go to sleep with? Yourself. You know?
Yourself, and
like,
it starts with
I mean, I guess both, but you know,
happiness ultimately starts with you, and you have to realize that. So, to conclude, what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let these guys talk in a second to say their pieces of advice. But to me, if I were you, I would get away from the situation, meditate, light an incense or two, and drink some tea, and honestly think about what you have at hand, what you have to lose.
Recovery.
Yes, recovery, and just think about you for a second. Don't think about anybody else. Block whatever is out there and be by yourself. Sometimes solitude is the best thing for the human mind, and you could definitely learn from that. So
just the time to take for yourself, you know?
Right.
Just some time.
Yeah, so meditate, think about what you want. Once after you meditate, since you have a clear mind, think about if what you have, whatever is making you sad or happy, sad, mad, or whatnot, see if it's worth it, and if it's not worth it, let it go. Okay? Be like Frozen. Let that shit go. You know, you don't need that in your life. Because at the
not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
But just like going on to the whole topic of family and just, you know, sometimes getting away and escaping. There was this girl I knew. She had cerebral palsy, so she didn't look like the most normal of a human being, and it was a tough time for her because her parents and her family, like, they just disowned her pretty much in her own house, and so
That's
she had
disgusting.
she had nowhere to go because it's hard for her to go out. I mean, she doesn't look normal, and her sister doesn't even talk to her. Her parents just kind of look at her like she's weird. And just sometimes, like, people are stuck in circumstances they can't control and they can't change. and it just that whole image of family kind of crumbles. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be like your rock. It's supposed to be the one unconditional thing you have. Yet in her case, there was a condition, you know, and that's it. It's not. It wasn't impossible for her to be happy in her own way.
Sure. And if you honestly like really think about it, that was just your physical family.
Exactly.
You know, a real family is someone that you can. It's a you know, group of people you can come to and really just like be all you.
It's a group of people who don't judge you and who cherish you for who you are, and
it's your foundation.
Yeah, exactly, and accept you for who you are. And it doesn't matter if they're not your blood family or whatnot. You know, shit. My brother, he's half blood, and he's been with me for all my life, yet he has fucked up so hard that I don't consider him my family. And even though you might say, oh, you know, Gabe, that's not how you should think, you know, he's your brother and all that stuff. Look, I know what you're saying, and I thank you for your concerns, but you know, he's just like what my friend Justin said. He's not good people, bruh. He's not good people. He's straight buster, you know. But sorry to take your spotlight,
no,
Jordan.
honestly,
I'm sorry.
At the end of the day,
I think I was talking, but
listen.
okay.
Oh, I thought. I'm sorry.
Listen, man. I honestly don't care if you never see your brother again. If you hate him for the rest of your life or whatever, you just know, like, even if you think he doesn't deserve it, I think you should forgive him. I think that when you let go and forgive and you have that huge weight off your shoulders, you and it's all gone. The only thing left to worry about is what you're doing and where you're going, and to not be like that. Yeah. You know, like sometimes you need to forgive, forget, move on, and grow.
So let me ask you something.
Exactly.
Let me ask both of you. Thor first, and also before we go to Thor and Paul. Sorry about that, Paul. We like.
I was gonna say there is a third
trying to get him, you know, in
tricycle wheel.
Yeah, but thank you for your also input. I will ask you the same question.
Take your time, man.
Yeah, but he's last.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, George's gonna be last.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And thank you for your input.
Of course.
But I want to ask you something, Paul.
All right.
If someone came to you and they said that they are unhappy because of a significant other or a family related problem, and that has taken their happiness away, what would you say? What advice would you give them to help them along the road?
That's a pretty interesting way to ask.
If I came to you and asked, bro, you know, this is happening in my family, my girl has done this to me, has taken everything out of me, what advice would you give me to bring back my happiness?
First, I would try to get the whole story, you know, try to listen to the person who's trying to tell you what's going on, try to get as much detail as you can. Then you go from there and then try to figure out how you can calm them down, how you can work around it, what steps can you take to make that person feel the way they did before that. Like, I don't know, man.
It's hard, right?
Yeah, it is. It is a hard one.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own definition.
Yeah.
That is true.
But I think when it really comes down to it, that when you're really presented that opportunity to help someone, in some way you'll kind of like, even if it's just like a shoulder to cry on, or like someone to just like an ear to like borrow.
It's all situational.
You know? It's all but you know, when you're there, you'll really know what to do, because even if you're in a bad position and someone has given you this pretty much.
Wait, I'm gonna stop you right there. Even going out to the cold, heartless people, being gentle and nice and caring and listening to people really, 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 really does change your life.
Yes.
It will make you feel more happy to know that you helped out a friend.
Being on that
or
side
someone,
of things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing that you listened and you were able to help make that person a little bit happier or get some emotion out.
All right.
Exactly.
You know, so, and I'm sorry to take this, but sometimes like
Damn, George, steal the spot.
Take it off. Fuck.
Just hold the box.
yeah, but,
Just hold it.
there was just some real quick thing I wanted to say. It's God, I can't believe it.
All right, go to Thor now. I'm just kidding.
All right, okay. It was.
This is the intermission. He's actually greasing some bearings right now. Got a few screws loose. Who knows a Jeopardy song?
Sure. But pertaining to what Paul was saying a little bit, you know what? You're gonna have to skip me or edit this out because I need to remember it again.
It's okay.
It's
It
all right.
stumbles you.
Well, I'll ask you the same question,
Yeah.
Thor.
What I was gonna say, honestly, is just kind of find like the listening part. 100%. That is true. Because like you won't really know what to say without listening, and like you won't fully understand unless you take the time to listen. And to become an active listener is something people don't usually do anyway. Like they don't practice that on a daily, and it's hard to sit there and like have your mind clear and actually focus on what they're saying, not just what you're going to be saying next. And that's also a big step I had to take to just to practice in my everyday life. And that will also change it. You'll become a different person. But going back to the thing, the advice I'd give the person would just be, it's not specific. I would just find out what brings them home. You know, like what's the one thing that they can always turn to that gave them happiness before that situation. Before the situation of, being sad and things like that. Just have them turn to it and make them realize that it's not gone and that it's still there.
Sorry about that, guys. There's a cat.
It was hard to talk. I wasn't even paying attention.
Everyone got scared because the cat jumped on the shelf.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Cats are way more important than this.
The cat will help you.
Yeah, I second that.
I know,
It's me.
honestly, cats can really help. You know, very therapeutic animals. Like cats are the shit, dude.
A companion in general, regardless
Dude,
of what
cats
it
are
is.
bitches.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Real
Listen,
quick,
man.
going back to what you said,
Yeah.
even just like listening to what they say,
Yeah.
being an active listener, even just saying yeah or yeah, okay, I understand, even just the smallest amount of words lets them know that you're listening.
They need to hear it sometimes too. Because like a lot of people go every day and they experience people who aren't active listeners. And like unless you are one, it's kind of hard to tell. But when you really look at it, it's kind of easy because like you can see someone who's just mindlessly agreeing with you, or they don't really have much to say. They're just going to say something else. And like that's just it's kind of a warning sign, but you're just trying to keep that in mind. That's pretty much it. But it is tough. It took me a while and I still practice. It's not perfect.
Do you have what you were gonna say, George, or do you want to say something different?
I think you put the WD-40 down. He's good.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? There's times and time again where the only times that I do get the opportunity to like speak to someone and help them are almost endless, to be honest. It literally feels like almost every single day I'm helping someone in some way, and it's such a blessing because I'm happy that I have the opportunity to do that.
But even then, that could be a rough time on
Yeah.
you.
What I was going to say before was that
I'm sorry.
I think you just
No,
sparked
sorry
it.
again.
I think you just sparked that fire. I think he's ready. I don't know. It looked like it.
it's like earlier when I was introducing myself, I said I was battling with depression a lot. The reason why I like to help a lot of people is because when I help other people, it makes me happy in some way. And I'll say something, I'll catch myself and I'll say something that really helps me out in something that I'm going through. And I've told this to so many people, but I have a very big lust for existential like philosophy to things that would help people. Just a sentence can change someone's life, you know.
A quote.
I have such a thirst for knowledge of just such existential knowledge, whether it's the universe or things like that, and I've always craved that as a really young child, and I think that's why I got caught up in drugs. But I ended up
hungry.
And I got sober. I went to a lot of AA meetings. I was sober for 2.5 years. I currently smoke weed. I drink occasionally, but and I don't want to say I'm recovered, but at the same time, I'm with great people, and the last thing I want to do is ruin that, you know. And
Exactly.
I've turned my life over to a higher power. I'm not saying that it's Christ or anything. I just know that every single person has a different perspective, and every single person in their own world has a different higher power, and I respect that, and I always will. But being sober and going to these meetings and stuff has given me the opportunity to speak at a lot of meetings. I've spoken in front of people numerous times, 50 people, 30 people, 20 people. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because when I speak to a person on a one-on-one basis, I'm speaking to the whole world. Because if I can help that person or save that person or anything I can do to help another human being, I know that it spreads. It's a domino
It's
effect.
very
You know?
deep. That's very meta.
Yeah, but that's how I think though. Like a lot of people, they misunderstand me because I'm a really, really, really deep thinker, and it kind of makes me sad as well. You know, it's like a double-edged sword in a way. That I help so many people because I'm sad, but I'm sad because people don't understand me,
Right.
and it's you know.
I agree with you there, because for the people that do know me in real life, they know me as the person who talks a lot, sometimes is, you know, to himself, but also very friendly. They also know me as someone who goofs around a lot to human people. And the one thing, and I could probably make this a topic right now within itself to continue this, but the one thing that I want people to realize is that when shit hits the fan, per se, when seriousness is on the table, I get serious and I go into a very deep level. And Thor and George and Paul could, you know, attest to that I have done that, and that I have, you know, instead of being the Joker, I was the guru, you know. And I really truly like that, because it's kind of like not exactly being the underdog, but also kind of being like a wild card. It's exactly like being a wild card, because they wouldn't expect someone who jokes around a lot and, you know, is comedic relief to have this knowledge that could potentially help them, you know, go through life. And it's amazing. It makes me feel good for them to say, you know, when times are tough, Gabe was always there to help me. And he always says some powerful words. Sometimes he's a little derpy, and I will attest to that. Sometimes I'm, you know, derpy as fuck, but
it's perfect, dude.
Yeah, man. It's progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And that's another thing you guys should listen to. It's progress, not perfection.
Oh, dude, I got like tons of these. You can push so many buttons. Don't worry about it. Save for another time. But honestly, those are the kind of things that have helped me. Like they're like my weapons. They're my arsenal.
Yeah,
those words. You know.
Yeah, and I'm just grateful for all the knowledge and all the experience that I have gained in my life, and I'm grateful for all the newfound knowledge that I'm going to attain. But just the one thing I want people to realize is this: that even though I may not be there, these talks are there for you to listen for when you're in the dumps. Not taking a dump, maybe taking a dump. But
let the people do what they want.
Yeah, if you want, you know, if you want to listen to me while taking a dump, that's great. But you know, if you're down in the dumps, feeling the blues, whatever it may be, I just want you to know that I'm here. I'm listening. Everybody's here. They're listening, and we are here for you.
Yeah.
And as well as we're here for you, this is also helping us, because we are getting things off of our chest that we usually would not tell people.
And we get to know the people.
Yeah, exactly. I never get to show this side of me to a lot of people. I know you don't. Thor, Paul, you know.
Oh yeah, of course not. I mean, like, even though I've known these guys for a very long time, I mean, I would say that they know a pretty good amount of me, but they don't know what's in my mind, you know.
We know you, but we don't know you.
Yeah,
Exactly. People only know what you want to show them, regardless of how honest you are to yourself.
Right.
there's still things that they don't know. I mean, it's just how it is.
Right. And wow, we've been talking for quite a while, and I like doing this. I mean, honestly, like, comment below.
Yeah.
You know what you guys think of these radio talks.
Definitely would like to.
We like
get
to
your input. You know.
Exactly. We would like to see it. Also, comment below if you guys want to see these guys in the radio show.
Hey!
on a good note.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. Like I remember, Paul, you were saying something with people coming into your store and you smile and then it kind of makes your day. Mm-hmm. I was thinking maybe we should like leave the video with a little story of how like we made someone happy in some way, not necessarily just talking to them, but like in our day-to-day lives, like, and you know, leave the video in a good taste.
Even if you can't see us, just remember we're smiling, guys.
Yeah, we are. Honestly,
story.
And the only thing, it's like, just remember, these types of talks happen all the time, all around the world, and I believe it spreads good energy regardless. And you just need to be attuned with it and just find it within yourself, because the more positive of a person you are, the more positive vibes you're going to be dishing out and receiving at the same time. And over time, you realize that there's like this flux of just positivity that you'll be attaining, and at some points you probably won't know what to do with it, but that's the point I feel like everyone should be at, and it's just going to take a while. Because if the whole world was like that, it would be, you know, different. I don't like saying a better place, but just different.
Right. So I think that's a good idea.
But George doesn't go first.
No, it's a good idea to tell
Go
stories.
for it, dude. Just go for it.
To tell like stories to end it off about how we helped. For me, I mean, I have a lot of them, so it's hard to pick one. But the one thing that I can say, the one story that I do remember is helping out my friend George, who was battling through a lot, and he was confused at the time, and I don't know what it was exactly. Okay, I think I know exactly what it was. Is that he was 19 years old, managing a halfway house and going to school and doing everything full time, and was a wreck, quote unquote, a wreck. Right? He was tired. He was sad. He was cranky. I don't know what you were, but like this is what I'm thinking. But anyway, I, calmed his mind, and I said, "Listen, it is up to you to make your decisions. We will support your decisions, but you are so young to be managing 45-year-olds. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is continue with school, which is great. Focus on that. We are here for you. We're your family, and everything is gonna be okay with whatever decision that you make."
Gabe, you just have to be yourself, and you help people regardless. Like,
that's the most important thing.
The fact that you exist and that you're my friend, like, just already helps way too much. You're a beautiful soul.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, that's my part. I'll let these guys say their parts, and I'll come back to end the video, or the talk rather.
About what makes us happy?
No, what's something that you did that you made someone's day, like you really remembered, like Paul was saying about him smiling and.
I'll let
you can go. I gotta think.
All right, because I've been ready for this one for like 5 minutes.
Go for it. Shoot, Paul, shoot.
I was in the store restocking the shelves and everything, and I normally like talking to the customers. Right. It stops me from putting stuff on shelves. Gives me a little bit of a break. So this guy came in. He came into the store and he came down my aisle. I normally don't do it. I should, but I say, "How was your day?" And he looked me dead in the face and he's like, "Horrible." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "My dad died." I'm sorry for laughing, but
it's about the top of
the way he said it though. It was just I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man, that sucks." And he gave me a little hug, and I was like, oh man, I gave him a hug, and he's like, oh man, you didn't have to do it. I was like, oh man, I know how it is. I mean, I don't know how it is to lose a person as close as a father, but I've lost a grandpa and everything. But having that little bit of a comfort, he started cheering up and talked a little, and I was like, I'm gonna go into. We started talking a little bit for like 5 minutes. So I was like, I'm going into the medical program, and he's like, oh man, his grandpa used to do that, and I was like, oh, that's really good. And he started having a smile and smile and smile, and after talking for a little bit, I mean, I got yelled at for talking to customers, but I mean, he walked away happy.
It's worth it.
Yeah. You can see a man who's shattered to
pieces.
Yeah. Just walk out of a store at least happy, at least for that day. Yeah. And he's like, I'll see you later. And I was like, yeah, I'll see you later too. So, I mean, I made a
That's how
friend.
you do it, man.
Yeah.
Made a friend and made a guy happy.
Made a friend, and he was not expecting that, I bet.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
He seemed very grumpy at first.
It's important just to be yourself, too, because you'll miss things like that if you try acting differently. And I think probably one of the things that I've done that would bring me the most satisfaction, as well as it being a positive situation, is I had a buddy. He was on my online friends, and it's online, so it's like, oh, whatever. Like, this is no matter what. This ain't real life, stuff like that. And he used to confide in me a little bit because he was my elder. He's like 8 years older than me, and at the time I was only like 14. And I've known this guy probably for like 9 years, 10 years now. But he just was going through a really hard time, and he was way into alcoholism, he was way into abuse, way into just being a shitty person all around. Didn't really know what to do about it, and it was the worst thing ever because he was out of control. Like, he couldn't control himself, and he knew that. And the only thing that I did for him was just sit there and listen. All I did was just listen to everything he said. He cried so much for so long. He was probably just wasted, too, talking to me. And he actually lost his job that day, too, because he was drinking. And this guy used to wake up, just drink a fifth of vodka every morning, knock out for like 20 hours, wake up, drink another fifth, knock out. And that was his life. He was wasting away. And ever since I talked to him, we've become so close. And it's just, honestly, it was like a blessing in disguise because all of a sudden this online world became so real. You know what I mean? It's just step outside of it and just kind of brought me back down to earth. And
right.
Honestly, that makes me happy. Things like that, just being there for people.
Right.
I never noticed how depressing Facebook was until you mentioned it.
Yo, Facebook is so fucking depressing.
Social media in general.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That should be another topic, though.
It's like the news.
I'm sure that'll be for
just like the news.
Yeah, that'll be another topic that we will talk about.
When's the last time you saw someone hug a stranger on the news? Like that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I thank you so much. So much. No, he already said his piece.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No. Skipping them.
We talked so much already.
My mistake. My mistake.
Get it.
Well, I was at Chipotle. I worked there, and I was on cash, and it was season. It was 2 years ago, and I remember this guy. He wore a "Life is Great" shirt or a "Life is Good" shirt, and I told him like, "Hey man, like nice shirt," like, and I smiled and everything. I was really friendly, and he just gave me this like really like what the fuck look, and I remember I was like, oh yeah, your shirt, like life is good, and he's like, yeah, whatever, and then he's like, give me a Coke, and I'm like, I'm
okay,
just, in my head I'm thinking like, you know what, this guy is just having a rough day. Let me see if I can make his day better. And so I went and got him the Coke and everything, and I'm like, so man, how's your day going? Like, how is everything? And he keeps giving me this weird look. He's like, it's all right. It's like, it's good. You know, so he was kind of letting his guard down, like he obviously had to pay me for the food and shit. So, I told him like, listen, sir, like, I don't know what you're going through and everything like that, but I hope you just have a great day and hope that everything just works out in the end. And he just like, he doesn't even give me a look. He just like turns around and walked away. And you know what? I didn't give a shit. An hour later, he comes back. He wants to talk to my boss. And I'm thinking like, oh fuck, like what did I do?
He spiked his drink.
So I go grab my GM, and he comes over there, and he's like, he told my GM like, here, I want to show you what I'm doing right now, because your cashier just just changed my entire day. And he throws a 20 in the tip jar. And he gives me a hug, and he's like, "Thank you so much. I was going through such a rough time, and I just needed you snapped me out of that." And I went to the back and I started crying because I was going through a rough time, even though it's my job to be happy,
Yeah.
And I kind of I shed a few tears, and it made me realize no matter how grumpy a person is, no matter what anyone's going through, they're still hurting. And I feel in some way, if you can do anything, little thing, and sometimes sacrifice even your own happiness or anything like that, just to humble yourself and to realize that people are hurting, you could change someone's life or even a day.
You can.
Right. But I'm sorry if I talked a lot during this video.
Oh no, that was really powerful, and I'm sorry to try to end the video short without getting your story in. I'm so sorry. No, honestly, please don't kill me over it. I'm sorry, but
got one thing to say.
What's up?
That guy that was that I was helping out, the one who was crying and stuff. That wasn't all that happened with his life. It actually ended in a great note. I forgot to say that. He turned his life around. He's with another girl. He has a better job, moved out to a different state. He is fully functional, and he's recovered. So
that's good.
It's awesome.
So good job to that guy.
Dude, he was going to kill himself, man.
Yeah.
And we gotta have a talk about homeless so I can get my story out.
Oh man,
that's a good story too.
But thank you so much, Gabe, for letting us be on your
talk
show. I really appreciate it.
It's definitely an honor.
No problem.
It's definitely an honor.
I really appreciate it.
I hope you guys really did enjoy it, and I hope everyone out there who's listening in has a great day, has a great night, great evening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Gabe Develasco's radio talk show.
I hope it helped.
Yeah, I hope it helped. If you are dealing with something that is hurting and you don't understand, you could shoot me a message on YouTube if you still know how to do that, or type it in the comments, message me on Facebook. If you're dealing with anything that's taking your happiness away, there are people who will help you. Yeah. Don't think that. There's people who do care about you.
Yep. Same goes for, I'm sure, everyone here right now.
Right.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, right.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, I leave you with this. Enjoy your life. Have a blessed life. Good day. Do the things that you want to do. And I'll see you next time. Have a good day.